Hi everyone, it's Mike from Active Training World here, and this is the online briefing video for the BoxEnd Triathlon on June the 20th. So, start off, we would just say that really looking forward to welcoming you all to BoxEnd. It's one of our most popular venues, and it is a superb venue with lots of open space on the site. There's a beautiful lake to swim in, crystal clear waters. Actually gets used as a wakeboarding lake regularly by the site, but there'll be no wakeboarding going on obviously while we're there. Superb country roads. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that for the bike leg in a while. We've got a new bike course that we're trialling out for this event. We've improved it from the previous one. And then the run is an off-road run that goes all around the sites. So let's start out with the basics. The car park will open up at around 5:30 in the morning. It's going to be parking on grass. When you arrive, there'll be car park marshals. Please just follow the marshals' instructions and they will tell you where to park. After you've parked up, you're then going to make your way over to registration. You'll be able to see the tents that will have all the registration stuff underneath it. And that will also be open from 5:30, the same time as the car park. The registration will be open up until 6:45 for the sprint, and for up until 7:15, half an hour later, for the standard distance race. So when you arrive at registration, you're going to get given a pack, or your registration pack, and in that registration pack will have your helmet and your bike stickers. So it's just exactly what it says on the tin. You stick those stickers on your helmet and on your bike, and you will also have in there 2 race numbers. So the race numbers, you need to wear a race number on the front for the run leg and on the back for the bike leg, okay? It's up to you. If you've got a race belt, some of you might use a triathlon race belt, you could just use one number and then you rotate it round, spin it round. If you don't possess one of those, then you can just pin it to the front and back of a cycle top or a run top, whatever it is you're going to be wearing for the race. You'll get some pins in your race pack as well to be able to enable you to do that. If you do require any spare pins, then just ask at registration. We'll have some more there. You also get given a swim cap, which will be coloured to the wave that you're in. So as I say, we've got a sprint and a standard, so there'll be 2 different colours. So you'll be getting the right coloured swim cap. And you'll also be given a timing chip and an ankle strap. Okay, now then, for those of you who've never used timing chips before, the timing chip goes on your left ankle, and you insert the strap so that it holds the timing strip so that the chip is on the outside of your ankle and it's visible from the outside. When you put it on, this is really important, you wear it throughout the whole race, including the swim. It's a waterproof chip, okay, you don't need to worry about anything about that. But please don't cover it over with a wetsuit. If you're wearing a wetsuit, don't cover over the chip, otherwise it sometimes makes it difficult for the chip readers to be able to pick up the signal. You must wear it, I say, throughout the whole race, and the reason is because if we don't actually pick up your timing chip, then it doesn't register the fact that you started, finished, or whatever. We'll have various different timing points around the race, for example, entry in and out of transition. So it enables you to pick up your split times as well throughout the race and compare yourself to all your other competitors, which is quite good for those of you who like to analyse your results later. You put it on your left ankle. The reason why it goes on your left ankle is so that when you're on the bike, if you think about it, all of the stuff like your chain and your gears and all of that kind of stuff is all on the right hand side of your bike. If you were to wear your ankle chip on the right hand side, there is a chance that the strap could get caught in your chain or something and then cause an accident. So please wear it on the left hand side on your left ankle. Okay, so that's the timing chips and registration sorted. Once you've picked up all that stuff, you're going to move away from registration. We'll also have a table there with marker pens, black marker pens on. And we'll also have hand sanitizer there as well. Please write your number, your race number, on the back of your left hand, okay? And that's so that when we're in the swim, when you can't see any identifying marks and we can't see your race number or anything, if for any reason we needed to know your race number, we'd be able to just look at the back of your hand and see what your race number is, okay? So obviously once you've used the pens there on the table, then please use the hand sanitizer to make yourself nice and sort of like safe and clean, okay? So once you've sorted that out, you've gone away, you've then prepared your bike, put all your stickers on, etc., got your numbers ready, you're going to move into transition and set up your transition point. We'll have racking in place for the bikes, and they'll all be numbered racking. Okay, so find your number and you rack your bike by the saddle. Okay, so you rack it by the saddle so that the handlebars are pointing towards you. If you're unsure, just ask one of the marshals in the area, or maybe even ask a fellow competitor, and they'll be able to show you how it's done. We rack them so that the bikes next to each other point in opposite directions. Gives us more space in transition, gives you more space to be able to sort of like find your own transition space during the race. Okay. The transition area will be open for the sprint until 6:50. And for the standard, it will be open until 7:20. If you are in the standard race, we do ask that you don't get in the way of any competitors, because they are going to be starting their racing from 7 o'clock. So it will be a live transition for them. So please be aware there may be people still actually starting their race while you're still racking. We will put them to one side and the other of the transition area, so there's no need to get in each other's way. But please just be aware there will be a race going on during that time. Also, just for those of you who've never done a triathlon before, I recommend that once you've actually found your transition spot and you've got your bike ready, you've laid out your shoes, your shirt, whatever it is you're going to be wearing for the bike and the run, then what you do is you have a really good look around you and note where the swim in is, where the bike in is, the bike out, for example, so you know all the routes in and out of transition and how that relates to your transition point. There's nothing worse than having a great swim, coming out the swim, running into transition, and then not being able to find your bike. Okay. Equally the same when you come back off the bike, running back into the transition area and not knowing where you've got to park it up. Okay, you have to park up at the same position that you took it from in the first place. That is your spot. So make sure that you try and find some identifying marks, maybe some trees, maybe some, it could be a flag or a banner or something like that, that you can sort of link yourself to as a visual link that then enables you to find your spot more easily. Top tip, don't use another bike, okay? And because you think that the guy next to you has got a really nice bright yellow bike, it's quite highly possible that bike won't be there when you come in to transition. I know lots of people who have made that mistake in the past. Now then, so once you've sorted out your transition area, we then ask that you leave transition and you go away to what we're calling the pre-start area, get yourself warmed up and ready for your race. We will be calling you into that pre-start area 10 minutes before the start. And we're hoping to have in place a ramp into the water, which you're going to be using for the start area. We will allow you to get in the water to enable you to what some people call flush their wetsuits. This is just enables you to basically get some water inside your wetsuit, and it just reduces any chance of any sort of cold water shock or anything like that. Chances are that the water temperature is going to be quite warm. Okay, we've had some superb weather in the last few weeks. So we don't anticipate that there'll be any restrictions on wetsuits or anything like that in terms of being forced to wear them. There is the possibility that if it continues to be exceptionally warm, it could become a non-wetsuit swim. We will be following British Triathlon rules on this. Obviously, this race is done under British Triathlon guidelines. And I think the water temperature has to be around over 23 degrees before we ban wetsuits. But there is the possibility that may happen. Okay, so we will notify you all at registration, okay, as to what the position is regarding the water temperature. Please don't email us or contact us on social media in the days leading up to the event, because it doesn't help. Okay, because on the day of the event, if it's a cold night, the water temperature can drop by 2 or 3 degrees. So really, we will not know what the water temperature is going to be and what the situation regarding wetsuits is going to be, literally until we take that temperature on the morning of the race. Okay. We will then, like I say, we'll get you down to that pre-start area 10 minutes before the start. We'll allow you to get in, have a quick dip in the water, and then we'll ask you to get back out again just before the start. We'll then line you up, okay, in number order. And the number order is because we will have placed you in number order based upon your predicted swim times. So the idea is the fastest go first. The reason for that is that then you all swim away from each other. It reduces the amount of bunching that you get on the course. We started doing this at the start of COVID restrictions, and the feedback we've had is actually most people enjoy it more because they actually get a much trouble-free swim, much more trouble-free swim, much less argy-bargy in the water, and that's sort of what we all want really, is to have a nice, safe and enjoyable swim leg. So the start times are going to be 7 a.m. for the sprint and 7:30 for the standard. Okay, those are the swim start times. The start process, like I say, will be one at a time. You'll be going over a timing mat and then entering the water. Your time won't start until you cross our timing mat, which will quite likely be under a big timing arch. Okay, so you can't miss it. We've got a big arch with a big inflatable arch. And once you've gone under that mat, we ask you then to proceed down the ramp into the water. I wouldn't go crazy and do a big, huge running dive into the water. Just we don't want anyone slipping and falling. We have got a non-slip surface on our ramp if it all goes to plan. But please just be safe entering the water. Just treat it a bit like a swimming pool sort of thing. No running on the pool side. Just walk quickly into the water and off you go. In terms of the layout of the swim leg, it is a 750 meter lap. So for the sprint distance, you'll be doing one lap round the course and then exiting. We have a separate exit to the entrance into the water. For the standard, you are going to come round, and after you've done one lap, you're then going to go round again and do a second lap, okay, before exiting the water. It's your own responsibility to count your own laps. I'm sure that in a swim you can count up to 2, you standard guys, and you'll all be good. It's a clockwise lap that goes around the lake. The lake itself, as I mentioned earlier, is used for wakeboarding. Obviously there'll be no wakeboarding going on during the event, but there will still be, you'll see when you get there, there's lots of jumps, wakeboarding jumps in the water, which actually make for quite a visual experience for you as you're swimming around. You'll be swimming between the jumps, so basically there's 2 sets of jumps down each side of the lake, and you'll be swimming straight down the middle between the jumps. We'll have buoys visible down the end of each sort of corridor of jumps, so you'll always have a buoy inside, swim buoy that you're aiming for, and our buoys are absolutely huge. They're big bright yellow ones, so you're not going to be able to miss them. You go round the outside of the buoys, okay, and like I say, you then exit the water. Nice and simple. And we'll have 2 buoys at each end, so you'll be heading straight down, round a buoy, across to another buoy, and then heading down the length of the lake again. It'll all become obvious when you get there on the day and check it all out. One thing to note about the water, about the swim, is that obviously we will have water safety teams out there on the water to keep you safe. That will be a combination of people on the side of the lake with lifeguard style with throw ropes, and also kayakers in the water. If at any time you're experiencing trouble, then you can roll onto your back and wave one arm in the air, and a water safety person will come over and help you out and make sure that you're kept safe. Because of that warning sign, we do request that nobody swims backstroke, because otherwise if you start swimming backstroke, it looks like you're requiring assistance, and you'll find a kayaker very, very quickly coming over to you and rescuing you when obviously you don't need rescuing. So for that reason, backstroke is not allowed in the swim. All of the strokes are allowed. You can do breaststroke. If you're feeling really ambitious, feel free to knock out a few lengths of butterfly if you wish. Please don't do any backstroke. Okay, so you've done your swim leg. Okay, you've got out the water. You're going to be exiting at an AstroTurf, a bank. We've laid down AstroTurf at our exit point. You'll be coming up the bank and then entering into transition. Please just be a little bit careful as you come up the bank. Sometimes if you get a lot of water from swimmers in front of you, it can get a little bit slippy on the grass. So just be a little bit careful as you come out up that bank. And then you enter into transition. You're going to go to your transition spot, as we mentioned earlier. You'll have had a really good look at where that is, so you'll be able to find it nice and easy. And then you're going to get to your bike. When you get to the bike, strip off your swim wetsuit if you're wearing one. And then the first thing you need to do is to put on your helmet. One of the rules about triathlon is that you're not allowed to touch your bike in transition until you've actually got your helmet on. So put on your helmet first. Then obviously get yourself set with any shoe changes that you're making, put on your number belt, whatever, and then basically unwrap your bike, head out of the bike exit, and the other rule in transition about triathlon is you're not allowed to mount your bike and get on your bike until you get to the mount line. So the mount line at BoxEnd is actually out on the road. So there's a bit of a run you need to do through the campsite that's there out onto the road. And when you get to the road, there'll be a flag there, and you'll basically be asked by the marshals to jump on the bike and off you go. Please be aware that the mount line is on a live road. It's not a closed road, so just pay a little bit of attention when you get to the mount line, and don't go wobbling all over the centre of the road as you're sort of pushing off and sort of like getting yourself off to go. Please just be safe. Now the bike course, mentioned earlier, it's a new bike course, okay? For those of you who've done this race before, you'll know there were quite a few sort of twists and turns. I think there were a couple of right turns as well. And there was also a U-turn round a roundabout that we had on the bike course. Despite that, it was hugely popular, but we think we've improved it, okay? So please do have a look. If you're regular at BoxEnd, please do go online. The links to the route will be on our website, but also they will be included in the final details. Please do check out the new bike course. Maybe if you're local, you might want to go and recce it even and sort of like get yourself familiar with it. The first thing to note is you head off in the same direction, but you don't do a U-turn at the first roundabout. You're now just going to turn left, okay? After that first left turn, you're on a fairly fast A road. But then what you're going to do is continue around to the third roundabout, I think it is. And at the third roundabout, you're going to turn left. That third roundabout is actually a split point, because after you've done a complete lap, you're going to come back to that roundabout again. And on your second lap, you turn right. So on your first lap, you turn left. Second lap, you turn right. And that is for both the standard and the sprint. The only difference between the two courses is the lap itself that you're going to do, the large lap, is basically a lot larger for the standard distance than it is for the sprint, okay? So both courses are actually the equivalent of like a 1.5 lap course, okay? So you go round to that roundabout twice. The only difference being, like I say, you turn right at that roundabout on your second lap. It will then loop you round and bring you back into the where you mounted your bike, but you'll be coming from the other direction, and it will be a dismount line there to dismount on, okay? There's no water station on the bike course. Even for the standard distance, it's only a 40-kilometre bike, so please make sure you take enough water bottles with you on the bike to make sure that you stay well hydrated. The weather we've been having recently has been very warm, so recommend that you do take a good supply of water or electrolyte drinks or whatever you use out there on the bike with you. When you come down to the dismount line, you need to dismount before the flag, okay? So yet again, one of those triathlon rules is there's no cycling once you pass that dismount line. So make sure that you dismount before the dismount line. We'll have marshals there. Then you're going to run through or walk through to the transition area, rack your bike back where you originally started, and then put your running shoes on, and then you're going to be heading off on the final leg, which is the run leg. Now, the run course is a 5K lap, all right? So for those of you doing the sprint, it's just 1 lap. And for those of you doing the standard distance, it's a 2-lap course. It is off-road. Obviously, with the weather we've been having recently, it's definitely not going to be muddy, okay, unless we suddenly get loads of thunderstorms prior to the day. So it's quite an interesting course because it really is a game of two halves, to use a bit of a footballing phrase, because half of it is absolutely pan flat down by the lake, and the other half of it actually heads up and is quite hilly, running through the trees. So it really is a game of two halves. It's a very interesting course. I personally absolutely love it. I think it's a great course. We will be putting a water station on the lap, although it will quite likely be probably about 2/3 of the way around the lap. So it's really more for use for the standard distance guys, though obviously the sprint distance guys are welcome to use it as well. When you've finished, okay, you've done your 1 lap or 2 laps of the run. Yet again, it's your own responsibility to count your own laps. You'll be coming into the finish line, and after you've crossed the finish line, there will then be a table there laid out with medals, some water, and also some treats for you to help yourself too. It's all self-service at the moment for COVID reasons, and we will have sanitising gel there for you to use. After that, we do also request at that medal table that you return your chip to us. So the chips are reusable. They're actually very expensive. So please don't walk off with our chips. So there'll be a bucket there if you take your ankle strap off and leave it in a bucket for us. All the results are going to be on event chip timing. Okay, so they will all be available online. We do occasionally have issues with our Wi-Fi connections uploading them. So if everything's working to plan, literally within a minute of you finishing, your times will all be up online. If for any reason you do go on there and have a good look and you can't find them, quite likely that something has happened to the internet connections and they're not being uploaded as quickly as we'd like. Please just bear with us if that is the case. Don't go bombarding the timing officials on the day about that, because they won't be able to do anything about it. So please do just sort of like wait, and the times will be uploaded later in the day. Worst case scenario, we take all the boxes home and we upload them back when we're back on our home connections in the evening. So don't worry, all of your times will be being captured. They will all go online eventually. Okay, that's just about it, I think. We hope that we're really looking forward to seeing you, first of all, sort of thing, at this course. We really hope you enjoy it, especially the new bike course. And yeah, we just can't wait. We hope this weather continues, because it's absolutely superb out there at the moment. Perfect for triathlon. We hope it continues. And yeah, we can't wait to see you there at BoxEnd and to welcome you to a superb venue and a superb race. Take care, guys. See you on the day. Bye.